Hey yo, what is up? We are back with a new video, and I've been away for a while because I've been a little bit busy, but we are back and we are due for a nice video here. And today I've got two keyboards for you, and this is the Epomaker HE75 which is, as you can see, a keyboard with double screens. This is a touch screen that you can see in front of you, and I can slide this around and do a couple of functions, and I can also set it to do, I could assign some functions to it besides volume and stuff like that. And also there's a little TV screen here that plays GIFs if I wanted to. Let's do a little bit of unboxing. Wow, there we go. That is the HE75. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But first, I've got another keyboard here, which is also pretty interesting. This is the Epomaker HE75 MAG, and this is a Hall effect keyboard, 75% form factor with a 4000 milliamp battery. And this is, of course, tri-mode, wireless. You also have wired function, Bluetooth for 3 devices if you wish. So let's talk about this a little bit. The special thing about this keyboard is it has a pretty cool looking knob here, as you can see, and it's pretty solid. This whole keyboard is pretty solid. There's very minimal flex, even though it's made out of plastic. But let me show you the special thing about this keyboard. You can remove not just the knob, but you can remove the entire module, which is a light and the volume knob, and you can replace it with two extra switches and keycaps. And it's got a south facing LED lights, RGB lights. So you just place your switches in and it'll do, and it comes with pre-programmed to do print and pause at the top 2 switches. That's pretty cool. And yeah, gaming keyboard, Hall effect switches, interchangeable knob module, and obviously this is a rapid trigger keyboard, which means Hall effect, you get rapid trigger, but not only that, you are also getting a lot of the extra features that Hall effect keyboards come with today. That includes DKS, dynamic keystroke. You've got the mod tab functionality. You've even got SOCD, which is pretty unique in my opinion. It is a kind of like an important function for a lot of these Hall effect keyboards. You notice that even Ponage has updated their software to include the ability to use the SOCD functionality, which I know it's illegal in some games, but it's still a feature that most people that use Hall effect keyboards want. So this already has it built in a 75% form factor. It's also got the gasket mounted. Although it's gasket mounted, it's not exactly the most springy keyboard, I'll be honest with you, but it is still gasket mounted, and it's got an aluminum plate, again triple mounted, triple mode for the USB-C connection, which is pretty interesting because you've got the routing right in the middle. You can go straight out, or you can route it to the right side of the keyboard or left side of the keyboard, depending on what kind of orientation you want. The switches are right behind you, 2.4G, turn it off, or Bluetooth functionality right in the front. Mac and Windows switch is right here, and your dongle is held in there magnetically, which is pretty cool. Let's rip it off and do a proper unbox. Now I've actually had this keyboard up for the last 3 weeks, so I've spent a lot of time with this keyboard. This is my main keyboard that I use most of the time when I'm not testing some other keyboard, and it is absolutely glorious. The keycaps are in cherry profile, and you've got the purple fade from black to purple, which is actually very unique looking. I don't think there are a lot of other keyboard manufacturers that are doing this. The switches on these are Gaterons, and these are Gateron White HE switches, which means you can upgrade this if you want. Upgrade it to the Jade magnetic switches, or the Gateron, the newer ones, the Jade Max, or the boxed ones, the Jade gaming. So it is compatible with Gateron switches if you want to switch it up a little bit. It weighs 960 grams, which is close to 1 kilo. Again, gasket mounted with no flex cut, which explains why it is not super bouncy and soft. It only polls at 1000 hertz, not 8000 hertz polling, but 1000 hertz is going to be more than enough for gaming performances. Although the trend is heading towards that 8000 hertz polling rate, I don't feel like it is absolutely necessary. I do want to mention that it's got the standard keyboard features like the double stage kick up feet, which actually I don't use because I prefer it at the normal height. It works fine for me. But yeah, that is the Epomaker HE75 MAG. It retails at around about $100 or 90 plus, and this is one of the nicer Hall effect keyboards that I have used. Remember the last one that I used was the Gamma K75, which was a slightly cheaper, $20-30 cheaper than this one, but this one has a better build quality, and you've got that nice purple fade keycaps and pretty sturdy chassis, and that interchangeable volume knob, which you can convert to two keycaps. So that's your little bit of advantage there. Next, let's move on to the RT80. Let me move this one out of the way. Now the RT80 is a pretty light keyboard compared to the HE MAG that we just played around with. This is a 75% keyboard. Well, it says 80%, but it's more of a modified 75%, because you've got some keycaps, that keys or switches that are missing here. Instead, you have a touch screen that you can move, and then you can mute your volume buttons here, or you can pull up your sniping keys. And then you have another section here where you can zoom in, or you can pull up your settings menu for your windows. Or if you slide it one more time, there are 4 empty slots there which you can customize in the software. There's also a mini TV screen here on the left that displays your connection status, your battery status, the time, the date, and play a little GIF for you if you want to. Now, what's nice about this keyboard is it's kind of special because it's different. It's got this enhanced functionality with the touchscreen. It's got a non-traditional 75% layout. It's got a proper gasket mount. Now, this gasket mount is a little bit more bouncy than the HE75, and it's also got a pretty marbly sound, as you can hear. I'll give you a sound test for both of them soon, but yeah, this is basically gasket mount with a PC plate, Poron sandwich foam, IPXE switch pad, PE sound enhancement pad, a switch socket pad, and bottom foam. A lot of sound dampening pads, and that's what's going to make this sound a little bit more of that, giving you that marbly sound. Again, this is also a tri-mode keyboard, which means you've got 2.4 Hz connection, you've got wired connection, and you've got Bluetooth connection all built in, and just slide the switch over to whatever functionality you want to use, what kind of connection you want to use. It's going to be fine. It's also Bluetooth 5.0 with 3 devices you are able to connect to, and as usual you're gonna get 1K polling in wired and 2.4 Hz mode. On Bluetooth it's going to be terrible, it's going to be 125 Hz, but nobody uses Bluetooth for gaming, or if you're in your station, probably Bluetooth connection is for your iPad or phone, or when you are in a cafe or something. That's when you're probably going to use your Bluetooth connection to connect to your tablet and stuff like that. Again, this is a hot swappable PCB, which means you can easily pull out the switches and swap them out to any kind of 5-pin compatible switches if you want to swap them out. These are one of the options of switches which is available when you buy this keyboard. This is the Flamingo switch with 55 grams of force, which means it's pretty light and quick. Now this keyboard is a little bit lighter. In fact, it is only 735 grams, so it is on the lighter side. These are the keycaps, pretty sweet PBT. They're pretty thick. If I measure them out for you right now, we're gonna get something like 1.8 millimeters thickness, 1.73, 1.70. So pretty thick PBT keycaps, which gives you that little bit of that marbly sound. Anyway, let me give you a sound test so you can check it out for yourself. And that is your RT80 sound test. Let's go check out the HE keyboard and let's see what that sounds like. It's a pretty heavy. It's much heavier than the RT80. This is a hefty boy. Let me weigh it out for you first before we do that sound test. This comes in at 960 grams, which is almost 1 kilo. So pretty heavy compared to the Epomaker RT80, but let's check out what it sounds like. and that is your magnetic Hall effect keyboard sounds. Obviously, magnetic switches, Hall effect keyboards, these switches just not going to sound as good as your regular mechanical switches, which, like the RT80, is going to sound a lot more marblier. Even though it's a plastic keyboard, man, it just sounds so good. However, this is a loud sound, and if you're worried about annoying your partner, annoying your office mates, this could get you in trouble. The magnetic, in comparison, the Hall effect magnetic switches are a lot more sound friendly, office friendly, much more quieter than these. But anyway, those are my two keyboards for you. Happy Christmas. Thanks for watching. Do hit up Epomaker if you want to get these keyboards. I really enjoyed the TH80, especially, even though it's not a gaming magnetic keyboard. I really enjoyed this because of its aesthetic and the sound, the typing sound that it produces, and the HE75 MAG with the SOCD that I've set it to my AMD. Man, it just works flawlessly with the software as well. Thanks to Epomaker for sending this out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.